It's Brian Preston, the Money Guy.
Okay, Cam on YouTube says, question, if your company pension offers either an annuity or a lump sum payment at retirement, would there ever be a case for the annuity? Or is it usually a good idea to take the sum and self-invest?
Oh, Bo, we could write books on this too.
So I'm gonna lay out the question, right? Because this might be some vocabulary people don't know. I'm just gonna tee it up, and you're gonna knock it out of the park. A lot of companies say, hey, we're going to save money on your behalf, or we're going to have you participate in that so that when you get to retirement, there's going to be something for you. And when you get there, you get two options. This big bucket of money that we've saved, we can just give it to you, and you can self-manage it, take a lump sum, and you can determine what happens with it and how it grows. Or if that makes you uncomfortable, we will manage it for you, and we will send you a specified dollar amount every month for the rest of your life, or maybe for the rest of you and your spouse's life. So you have a decision to make. Which one is better? All the money today or some of the money for the rest of my life?
Man, this is, by the way, big decision.
Big decision.
Don't screw this one up because, I mean, you've spent 20 plus years building this big pot of money, and now it all comes down to this one decision.
Yep.
And wouldn't it be nice if this was always the case, it's this way, or it's always the case this other way? That's not, unfortunately, the way it works, because guess what happens? It all depends upon how that pension was structured and the assumptions, the promises that were made by the company. And I hate to answer a question with another question, but I need to give you some context on this, is that it's not uncommon with these pensions because people have realized, whoa, when we designed that pension, we overpromised. We offered these people our employees a lot more benefit because we just thought forever. I mean, I think, we always talk about Bobby Bonilla Day.
Oh, man.
Because
Bobby Bonilla Day.
Bobby Bonilla, remember, don't forget, the owner of the Mets was involved in the whole Bernie Madoff scandal, where it just seemed like it was so easy to make a guaranteed 10 to 12%. So when he was negotiating Bobby Bonilla's, contract, he was like, well, if I'm making a guaranteed 10 to 12% every year, I can put this assumption into Bobby's contract. And I think that, and it ended up, he's making a lot more money from his contract that pays out through an annuity than if he took the lump sum of just, that helped him with all the salary cap stuff. Well, the same thing happens with pensions. A lot of times your employer had a rosy outlook on their investments, or they put some assumptions in that just have not panned out to be great. So their goal is to get you to take the lump sum so that they can shed that long-term responsibility of the pension. And then other times, maybe the assumption was the other way. Maybe they put in, maybe you have a nerdy CPA that designed this thing and was so conservative with assumptions that the lump sum offer is rich. It's really good. And you do the mathematical calculation and be like, man, yeah, take the money, because if we just make a reasonable rate of return of 4 or 5% a year, we're going to blow this out of the water. Plus, you're going to have the ability to pass this on to your heirs. It's not just on your life. This is a no-brainer. Yes, take the lump sum. I hate that it's not so cut and clear, and it's not like a disclosure that comes on the front page of your decision thing. You actually have to do the math. You have to be nerdy. You have to figure out all the assumptions. You have to look at your life. You have to look at your health. You have to look at, are you married? Because, by the way, it's not only is it take this amount at this age or take the lump sum, it's also what year are you going to take it? Do you want joint benefit or do you want it on single life? I mean, there's so many different scenarios. It is so customizable to you that this is, once again, a great opportunity that you better make sure you've got the calculation right. So go hire somebody. Take the relationship to the next level, because this is your first and only pension decision. Go find somebody who's done this hundreds, if not thousands of times, so that you can make sure you get that decision right.
And look, not to frighten you, we have seen the answer to the question as to which is more advantageous change. So a lot of folks, as they are on that 4 or 5 year runway, we'll start doing some pension analysis. Based on today's values, is the pension more valuable or is the lump sum more valuable? Is the pension more valuable? Is the lump sum more valuable? Well, we've been in this unique place where interest rates have kind of been changing, and a lot of pensions are based on current going interest rates, and it will change the lump sum value. And it is not uncommon that when we actually get to retirement day, like to the month or few months when they have to make the election, that the advice, the lump sum did make sense, has now changed to where the annuitized benefit makes sense. And we've seen it go vice versa. And for two workers who have the same option, it can be different based on your unique account structure, like what your age is, where your dollars are going to come from, when Social Security happened. All of those variables come into play that it is so unique that I don't want to say you have to have a co-pilot, but man, it makes a lot of sense to not just like measure twice, but you want to measure this like 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, 50 times before you make this decision, because it can have huge impacts over the longevity of your financial plan.
It's definitely not something you want to hold your nose or flip a coin.
My kid, so I have a 4-year-old, right? She's figured out eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and she does it for everything. But she doesn't actually know how it goes. So she's like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and she makes a bunch of words after this, and she just points to whatever outcome she wants. You know what I mean? So I have to sit through about 40 seconds of her doing the making up words.
She's just going to point to what she wants.
She's just going to point to what she wants. It's so frustrating, but she's smarter than I am.
I bet it's really cute the first time.
It's cute the first time.
You could probably bring her in here and we'd think that is the funnest thing.
It's super
but after
cute.
you've seen it 14 times, you're like, oh.
Oh, yeah, let's just get to it.